and now the official countdown has begun. We have this Arcane MLP versus the RLS. We've got Mir, SKNZ, Geru versus Abni, Karvinen, and Maldiva. And you can see Abni's trying to knock the Rogue out right now. He's spamming his Arcane Explosion, but the Rogue does land the sap on him. And he could actually be set up on right now. He's getting full dots on himself with a sap on Maldiva. Karvinen dispelling a UA. And it looks like Abni's just going to retreat. And maybe Maldiva's going to be set up on hard right here. He does have that UA out onto Maldiva. A Pep banish too, so Maldiva could take a ton of damage. A Polymorph was dispelled instantly off of Mir, so he wasn't able to get that Polymorph stun. I know Abni loves spamming that.
Yeah, he definitely is a poly spammer for sure. We do see all the dots have been removed by Geru. He's going to be able to spam the spell pretty nicely against this comp. Not that many dots are out right now from Skenz, but there's a count on Karvinen. Looks like they might just want to go onto him. Yeah, there's the dance coming out onto Karvinen. Soul swap over with the UA and the Agni. There's a Freedom, but I mean, he's still stunned, so the Freedom may be purged off. Garrote coming out of that kidney. War Stomp from Karvinen. A nice fear from Maldiva. Sheep as well, but Karvinen is going to be just fine. Oh, it looks like he actually ran into the wall and ZC'd.
Well, that's really unfortunate because that was about 5 seconds. Oh, no, that was about 10 seconds past the DC timer. Looks like Maldiva is going to port away. Probably going to go down before Karvinen gets stuck. He does have a Rogue on him, and Warlocks kind of die pretty quickly against someone when they don't have a healer. That's probably one of their downfalls.
Karvinen isn't back in yet, so he's pretty dead. I mean, he's silver in health, so he's trying to do his best, but... Karvinen's back. He might live. We'll see.
Wow,
he gets a heal off. They missed the shock, so I mean, looks like he will be able to stabilize, but probably gonna have to blow at least a couple cooldowns to top his team off. And Maldiva has already had to do some stuff as well. Now Karvinen's into a kidney shot. He's gonna pop his wings, trying his best to top himself off. We do see that he's doing a pretty good job of that, though.
Yeah, and something to note is that Karvinen isn't going to have arena enemy unit frames, which means that if he's a player that likes to watch that kind of stuff for fears and hexes and stuff like that, as opposed to the focus frame, he's actually in a little bit of trouble. And also, he was behind because they had so much free time without any heals going off, that he had to use some cooldowns. He used Wings, the Warlock used Death Coil, and a
Also
Demon Soul. Yeah, Sovereign Healthstone too. And yeah, that's really going to set him far behind. It's not exactly a completely fair match. Obviously, we can't have it reset because it was past the rule, but...
Maldiva did just make another Healthstone, so, things have kind of evened out that, he didn't have to use Guardian, none of them used Trinkets, so although it sucks, it doesn't seem like it's the end of the world. And Geru actually, his Hex got reflected by someone's meta, so he actually went into a full Hex, into a Sheep. So Skenz is going to be taking some damage. He's down to about 60% HP. But Mir, he's sticking on to Maldiva. It looks like that's just going to be their target the entire game. And there's the dance coming out of Mir. He's going to swap right over onto Karvinen with that soul swap. Garrote out of the cheap shot. Probably a de-arcading coming up here. But once again, nice war stomp by Karvinen, breaking up that chain. A good fear from Maldiva is going to allow Karvinen to top himself off.
Yeah, every time Karvinen gets Garroted from a Shadow Dance, or at least the twice that I've seen it so far, he does do a War Stomp at the end to kind of break up the CC chain. I think it's really smart, and so far he hasn't had to pop too many cooldowns from a rogue swapping to him, which is almost unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a really good job. He definitely could get that plea rolling here. I think that's one thing I would like to see him doing earlier, because, he's down to about 60% mana. You want to just plea as early as you can, really, as early as it's useful. They are just changing sides on the map. You see that he's just mailing away, trying to get some mana back, making sure he keeps his judgments up as well. He just gets shocked on that Divine Light, so Maldiva could be in a little bit of trouble, but there's no real dots out just yet from Skenz, who honestly, in my opinion, isn't doing the best job keeping dots up, because it's like, there's no melee even on him. He should be pretty much free casting this whole game.
Yeah, it's definitely rough, though, if you have two casters that are just going to make sure you are the one getting spell locked, which I think is how this MLP plays it. But Abni's actually stuck in a full Hex right now with full dots on Karvinen, full dots on Maldiva. So nice job, SKNZ, actually getting those dots out now. But Maldiva's stuck in a full kidney, and it looks like his pet is possibly going to go down while he's unable to do anything, but he does get a pet out and immediately gets Soul Link, so we're not going to see an insane swap or anything right there. But Abni does get picked up with Mir being put in a Sheep. Abni catching a Freedom, trying to get away. Mir puts a kidney on him, and Abni doesn't have a blink out, I don't think. He does get bopped on it. but
And they're
looks like
just
they're
going
going
to
to
swap
switch
right
on
back to
Maldiva.
Maldiva, though. There was a nice logic coming out of Karvinen. Mira's just going to trinket that and cloak, so he is going to just be taking a lot of damage right now. Maldiva, though, he does throw out that howl. He should be able to get some dots up here, port away. And so far things are pretty even, but the big problem is mana right now, and I'm not sure if my frames are bugged or if it's just not showing the cooldown, but there now, just finally the plea goes up.
Yeah, we do see it. Karvinen is at about 40%. Geru is at about 80%. One thing is Mir did just use his cloak a few seconds ago, but Maldiva actually stuck in a Garrote Kidney. He's at 28%. There is no bot for him. 10%. If they can land an interrupt on Karvinen, he's surely going to go down. But with a Soulburn Healthstone and a few crits from Karvinen, he looks like he's going to be okay. Karvinen trying to sprint away.
Karvinen, perhaps, though. No, never mind. They are just going to go to Abni. Abni is taking some damage down to 60% HP. We see Karvinen in the background. He's doing quite well, keeping his team topped off. But I think mana is going to be an issue, and really, there's not any pressure so far coming out of this Arcane Mage team. So Geru can drink anytime he wants to. Skenz is down to about half HP, but no real cast coming out of Abni just yet. He's going for some Arcane Blast now, so could possibly see some damage coming out on the Mirror.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say earlier, but then they had that big swap on a Maldiva, and that's that Mir has used his cloak. It isn't coming up for a little bit now, and if you cloak against this team, you're in a lot of trouble. I don't think you should cloak unless you're, for sure going to die. I think that's a cooldown you definitely need to hold on to. I think they know that they can't really... that the other team can't really get a win. They can only really get a loss here, if that makes sense. They need to get a gigantic burst on a rogue that doesn't have cloak. I think that's the really only answer.
Yeah. I mean, they could also try going on SKNC with a banish on the pet or something, but Abni's in some trouble. He ran behind the pillar. He's in that kidney shot, down by 50% HP. He's going to pop his Healthstone. He's getting some heals from Karvinen as well, but Karvinen's going to kind of pull him to a bit of a rough spot. We do see that Howl comes out on Geru, forcing the Tremor, which is then killed. He's into a sheep as well, so... nice job forcing out those cooldowns, so perhaps they can get some sort of CC chain onto Geru and allow something to happen. But right now, Maldiva is being bursted so hard. The Shadow Dance has come out from Mir. He's coiled off, but still, Maldiva is in some trouble.
Yeah, he actually just got picked up right now. Karvinen did use his Aura Mastery on that, though. He knew if he got spell locked, it was definitely going to be a game ender right there. Another thing about this Arcane Mage is all of his spells are arcane. If he gets interrupted on his CC, then he isn't able to do damage. If he's interrupted on his damage, he's unable to CC. Also, if he gets interrupted, he can't counterspell. So that's a gigantic factor, I think, because with Frost Mages, if you get counterspelled on your Polymorph, you are able to still... I almost said Frostbolt, but Iceland.
Yeah, JK, they don't cast. But we do see that Abni is going to be the target right now. Hand of Sacrifice does go up from Karvinen. He's taking some damage. We see the impact coming out on the Mir. No removal of that sacrifice, but it doesn't look like it's really going to matter. They're just going to be training on this Arcane Mage here for a bit. Mir trying to get as much damage done as he can, keep the pressure rolling. We see Maldiva has been fully dotted up by SKNC. There's full dots on SKNC as well. And he's actually going to trinket. I don't even know what he trinketed there. But the Shadow Dance is coming out. There's a spell lock on a Karvinen. Not sure if it did land full because Karvinen is trinketed as well, and Maldiva is being danced on.
Yeah, he did juke that counterspell. Really nice job by Karvinen. And Maldiva has his trinket again, so for the next smoke bomb, he should be able to get out just fine. But I actually don't think there's another smoke bomb for another 5 minutes or something. Or 3 minutes, I guess, because that's a cooldown on smoke bomb. I'm pretty sure anyway. But if you look at pets, it looks like Maldiva's pet could possibly go down. And if they land a CC on him right now, he might not be able to get the actual cast off, or maybe he won't even notice his pet dies. I think that's a big issue with a lot of Warlocks, actually, that not a lot of people talk about. But Abni is taking a lot of damage right now, but it looks like they're trying to hit Geru. He's at 80%, and he doesn't have Earth Shield on himself, and there's a Death Coil on him, but he does trinket that Death Coil. He gets behind the pillar, and without insane Frost Mage CC, I think he's going to be able to pick himself up just fine.
Yeah, there was a DR. Was able to kick that. He's going to pop a Shadow Dance, cheap shot onto Abni. He does blink away, but he steps right over to Maldiva. It gets feared on that dance, though, so ends the Shadow Dance with full energy. Not the most effective one, to be sure. Karvinen going to dispel UA, and still, I have to say, Skenz really not getting that many dots out.
Yeah, it's really rough, man. I think they really need to step it up. A few more pet banishes, maybe the Shaman free casting a little more. That'll make them try and lock him out. Maybe think they can get a burst kill and then just use some cooldowns to kind of counter it. but it'll allow the Warlock to get some pressure out. I think that's what I'd like to see. But you see Maldiva doesn't have too many dots out either. Right now he only has the Rogue dotted. But Karvinen actually puts a bop onto Maldiva, a blind onto Karvinen, and he's actually holding onto his bubble. He hasn't bubbled the entire game. Maldiva now at 57%, but he also has to tap, which means he could possibly go down, especially with a blanket onto Karvinen followed by a full fear. And now Maldiva down to 19%, picks himself up with another Soulburn Hellstone. Wow, Maldiva actually recasting quite a few Hellstones this game, and that's actually saved him a few times now, so that's pretty smart. Really nice job.
Yeah, it definitely has. I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do that. Karvinen is going to be the swap target, but he still has that Guardian available, so as long as he's able to get a Wog off, he's going to go to full health probably. We will see if he is able to do that. He lands one Holy Shock on himself, but he has to bubble, so they force out a lot of cooldowns there. Skenz, in the meantime, is down about half HP. He's low on mana. We see Geru is spamming off those healing surges. Going to be able to top him back off. Geru is the one now behind on mana, because Karvinen has been doing a great job conserving, but still not sure if it's really going to become an issue, simply because the pressure is so inconsistent from Maldiva and Abni that I feel like Geru can drink anytime he wants, and he's going to go for it right now.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note. Man, it's a gigantic issue. Abni is stuck in a fear right now. Mir was also in a Howl of Terror. Looks like Maldiva trying to get some pressure out. Abni starting to spell steal a ton off of the Warlock on this RLF game. He throws out a counter, trying to stop some pressure, I guess. Karvinen down to 50% mana. Geru at about 40. Here comes the dance from the Rogue onto Karvinen. He does not have a shield, and he does have a trinket, actually, but he gets stuck in a full garrote. I think he might have to trinket that. Looks like the Rogue is getting feared away.
He does get feared away, and he gets that infusion Divine Light, so he's going to be able to top himself back off. He's throwing out the Freedom. Still, he's in some... He's running through the middle. A Hodge does come out onto Mirror, but it's dispelled immediately. And now, he has Trinket still, but it might not be of any use. He does pop that Aura Master. He's going to get Kitty Shot on it. Has to Trinket immediately. He needs to get out of there. He's corroded once again. It may be DR'd, but still, he's down to about 10% HP. If he does get a Wog, he will be able to probably top himself off because of that added crit bonus when you're so low.
Yeah, he is at about 57% right now. Ring of Frost goes down by Abni. Karv trying to kite away. He gets caught in a Death Coil, though, and I think if he gets kidneyed out, and he is probably going to go down here, down to 8%, down to 2%, 0%, and he does end up done with a Fear on Mirror coming just a half second too late.
Yep, so the RLS is going to take game one here on Nagrand. We will be able to go into the next map pick here, though, from Abni, Karvinen, and Maldiva. So,
all right. So 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Blade's Edge Arena. If they hit this Mage, he does still have that little knockback talent for when the Mana Shield breaks, and that's going to be really, really annoying, especially if he positions himself smartly, like on the this pillar or the other pillar.
Yeah.
You can see him sitting on it right now. That's going to be obnoxious for this Rogue. I already feel bad, even if he is running RLS.
Well, I mean, Mary is looking for a sap on Karvinen, but he already got in combat, so maybe they're just going to open up on him because he's just sitting back there. No, he falls out of combat, so he's going to get the sap. Probably going to open hard onto Maldiva, who we do see is into a Halater. Skenz should be able to get the banish. He's going to get full Demon Soul dots up as well. But where's the opener for Mir? He actually walked into the Ring of Frost.
Oh, maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he's playing with really low particle density or whatever, but Abni did just get locked out, and he decides to start casting a Scorch, which I don't think is the best choice for an Arcane Mage, but Karv's sitting in a full fear. He does get out. Abni down to 69%, but a big dance on Karv, it looks like, and I'm sorry, he didn't dance, but Karv's still really low on health. He's at 58%, and there's the dance. Now he's stuck at about 45%, trying to pick himself up. He does pop wings. Abni stuck in a full Hex, has to trinket it. Abni casting a Polymorph. Karv does Aura Mastery and land a heal. Wow, I thought he might go down before a bubble, but he did manage to live there. But with a Death Coil, I think he's still in a little bit of trouble. Might have to pop even more cooldowns.
He has that Infusion of Light, so he will be able to do something. But yeah, I mean, and the fact is that he was that low without a single dot on him. So the Rogue just soloed him, and now a couple dots go up after, so he's able to force that bubble. Maldiva's at 50%, Abni's at 60%, Karvinen's at 60%. They're in a lot of trouble already, so I mean, this is looking pretty rough.
Yeah, I think that Soul Swap Glyph is really doing wonders for him.
Soul Swap good. Glyph is apparently pretty good. You heard it here first.
Yeah, he's really doing a lot of damage. Really great spread pressure by Skenz right now. But you can see Abni just chain casting those polymorphs. He actually ends the cast on that one, but he loves casting polymorph, man. It does have that 3-second stun or something obnoxious every single time someone gets polyed, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't play with the polymorph glyph. But Maldiva dipping down to 61%. A full blind onto Karvinen. He doesn't have a bubble. He doesn't have a trinket. Maldiva probably going to go down here, down to 12%. A sap onto Karvinen, an impel stone from Maldiva, but I still think he's almost guaranteed to die. But Mir does jump off. You can see him channeling that drain life. A blanket onto Karvinen. Is Maldiva possibly going to go down here? A gouge onto Karvinen. A fear onto Karvinen. Now Maldiva at 6%, and he does end up going down.
Yeah, and I mean, that was kind of more what the game should look like, in my opinion. Like, you know, you saw it didn't look like they had a chance. I mean, they just kind of got dominated. It was like,
have to win here if they want to get the win. You don't want to start 0-1 in your group. That's never very good. It's always a rough spot to pull yourself out of. But you see Abni kind of sprinting in. Oh, and he goes invis. I forget about the instant invis. It's very scary, but looks like we might have a sap on to Karvinen, full dots onto Abni, and he's in a hex. He could get opened on very hard, but they're actually going to start on Maldiva, which is also a good option because he can just get soul swap to, which he did. And now he's stuck in a full kidney. Karvinen does throw a Hodge out onto the rogue with a polymorph onto Geru, so he isn't able to dispel that. And it looks like Maldiva is going to be the train target right now.
yeah, Geru, Maldiva did get a nice single target fear there on Geru, so he's forced out that tremor. You know, if he could get a poor howl or something, that'd be great. But we do see that he is going to be going. We do see Skenz into that sheep. He was at LS of Geru, so took a second for him to get it off. But I mean, Geru's doing a good job dispelling those UAs and everything. Maldiva has been keeping up a lot of dots this game, so a nice job from him. But you know, the question is, can Abni get those casts off? And so far, no. You know, Maldiva is getting danced on. He's in that bomb. Karvinen does run in. He gets a sacrifice off on him, so he's not going to die here or anything. But Karvinen might have got pre-locked there. It did look like it. Oh no, he faked it. So good job.
Yeah, that was a really nice job by Karvinen. You know, he never really gets locked out. We've seen a lot of blankets on him, but no full lockouts, I don't think. And that isn't anything about the RLS Warlock. That's really good about Karvinen. But you can see Sken actually dropped to about 50% from the Mage alone. He didn't have a single dot on him. So I actually don't know the cooldowns that Abni used there, but it looks like he is going to get hit hard right now. He does blink away. Yeah, I think if they hit him, I think Abni might be done for. I mean, Abni's such a good target, man. Sure, he can blink away, but after that, he really has nothing. He doesn't have the Imp Cone of Cold. He doesn't have Pet Freeze. He does have Frost Nova, and he does have the Cone of Cold Snare, but that's really it. I think he has the Speedy Blink as well, but if you hit him, he's in a lot of trouble, and you can actually see him spamming that Remove Curse button.
Yeah, he does take a lot of damage, but still, I feel like the problem, is that if you're sitting on the Warlock's never going to have those dots rolling and everything, and Maldiva, he can't really kite that much because of the port, but that's it. And Maldiva is going to get fully dotted up. We see the Haunt landing as well. There's the Shadow Dance coming at a mirror. He's going to be going hard onto Maldiva. There's the Grope falling up that cheap shot. Karvinen does get that Divine Light off. He's going to throw to Freedom as well. But Maldiva now into that kidney shot at 60% HP, down to 50% HP now, taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, with Abni stuck in a full fear, he's getting fully dotted too. This RLS is doing a really good job spreading pressure right now, I think. But actually, Maldiva no longer has any dots on him. Abni's dots are wearing off. Maybe I spoke a little too soon. Looks like they're going for a banish on Skenz's pet. Maybe they could do a gigantic swap onto him. He did just get soul swapped too. With Abni stuck in a hex, there's not a lot to do. Karvinen did just trinket a blind. Maldiva stuck at 50% health, down to 14%, down to 6%. He does trinket an Imp Hellstone. What was that burst?
I mean, that's RLS, buddy. We did see that Maldiva did get that port off, so nice reaction time there. Karvinen's really hurting on mana, though. He did pop his plea, but still, he's going to be low on mana. He's going to have to do his best to just really maintain whatever as far as he is on mana. He's going to have to get some melees off, keep the judges up. Regardless, he did get his shield wall up before that Garrote landed, so nice job by him. He's going to reduce a lot of the damage that is coming in, but still, it may not be enough. He also got a Hellstone off during that Garrote, but the kidney shot bringing him down to 20% HP. He's going to pop that Guardian, try to avoid having to bubble, and it looks like with the Guardian up, he will be able to do just that.
Yeah, Guardian's such an insane cooldown. Abni, though, down to 50% with a Rogue on him. Looks like he's going to need a lot of help. Casting that Mana Shield and improved Invis means he can just get a free cast off. That was pretty nuts. Wow, a bop on the smoke bomb. That was really good by Karvinen. Such incredible awareness. But then you can see the Garrote kidney onto Abni, so he's unable to blink away, unable to do much right now with a Rogue sitting on him and a Warlock tunneling damage into him. He does pop his Hellstone and Arcane Power, so this is the time to see damage with Mir forced to cloak when he gets a Hodge and a Death Coil on him. But Maldiva down to 50%.
Yeah, he did trinket there as well. I mean, Abni uses Arcane Power, so that was kind of their go for it. I mean, unfortunately, Abni does get locked out there. Karvinen's really hurting on mana now. Mirlaw won't have his trinket for a while or his cloak, so it's possible he could get something done. But look at Abni, down to 50% HP, 40% HP, fully dotted up. He's going to be in a lot of trouble, and Karvinen really doesn't have much left in the tank to heal him up besides Holy Lights.
Yeah, he's tunneling that Holy Light right now. That's really rough, man. This pressure from the RLS, it's looking like it's a bit too much. I think they only have Bubble, really, for a cooldown. He did use his Guardian, correct?
Yeah, I believe he did use that Guardian on the earlier swap to him. So, I mean, he's completely He's just got to get some melees off or do something, try to go for a drink. Abni, though, is at 30% HP, so obviously that's not an option. And he's completely now. All he's going to have really is Holy Shocks and Wogs. Yeah,
you can see Maldiva even trying to create a Hellstone almost in the face of his entire enemy team. He does get Death Coiled at 30%, down to 28%, trying to get a UA up. It looks like he got spell locked with a Garrote onto Abni. This RLS is doing insane spread pressure right now. I don't know who's going to die first, but I think someone's going to die. Abni does use his Ice Walk. We hear a redirect onto Maldiva. He does get kidney shotted right now, and Karvinen actually doesn't have much. He just threw out a Hodge, but I don't think he has anything, man. Maldiva does do another Imp Hellstone.
He was feared. He's going to actually trinket, and then he gets re-feared, has to bubble. He's trying to keep Maldiva up, but, as you can see, Geru still has his trinket. He still has NS, still has his Spirit Link, still has, everything. And, I mean, he just sits every full CC, knows he never needs to trinket. Maldiva's at 30%. Abni's is 50%. Karvinen's completely So, I mean, one CC chain, one set of full dots on both these DPS, and someone should definitely die here.
Yeah, full dots onto Maldiva. I'd like to see a Pep Banish right now, but with a sack on him, there comes the Pep Banish. He's probably going to go down here. He is in a cheap shot with Karvinen in a full fear, down to 14%. Abni getting the Hex, and it looks like they're actually going to switch on to Karvinen with Maldiva at 10%. He does get spell locked, and it looks like the Rogue's just going to switch back and kill him.
Yep, so it is going to be a 3-0 for Geru, Mir, and Skenz. Not a big surprise. It's just, I mean, the Arcane Mage comp, it's cool, but to me, it's just not going to work against a top tier RLS that knows to play defensive.